Hi everyone, my name is Emily and I'm the Young Adult Librarian at the Rock Island Public Library, and the book I'm going to tell you about today is called Long Way Down. So this is a book by Jason Reynolds, and in this book you meet Will. And Will is a teenager, and the thing he is dealing with at the start of the book, which is a novel in verse, is that his older brother Sean was just shot and killed. He just died. And so Will is having a really hard time with this. But, he knows under these circumstances what he's supposed to do. He knows that he's not supposed to snitch. He's not supposed to tell anybody who he thinks killed his brother. And he's not supposed to cry, and he's supposed to get revenge. So what he knows about Sean is that, they shared a bedroom, and they had this dresser in their room with one drawer that was jammed shut. So Will knows if he goes into their room and opens that drawer, he's going to find a gun. And he does. And he takes this gun out and he hides it, he puts it under his shirt, in the waistband of his pants, covers it up, and his mom does not hear him go. She's in her room crying. Her son just died. And so Will, his plan is this. He's going to walk outside, go to the elevator, go down to the ground floor, walk outside, walk to the building of the person he's pretty sure killed his older brother, and then he's going to ring the bell, and when that guy answers the door, Will's going to shoot him. That's the plan. But when Will gets into the elevator, pretty quickly things do not go to plan. First of all, Will gets in and he's waiting, hits the button for the ground floor, and he's thinking, okay, I just need to not have anybody be in this elevator with me. Obviously, I just need a minute to clear my head and think about what I'm about to do. But then, of course, somebody gets on the elevator. And it does that annoying thing where, the elevator, it doesn't close the door right away. So they're just standing there waiting for the door to close. And Will is really impatient, and he feels like this other person must be able to see him sweating, must be able to hear how hard his heart is beating. And this guy does say something like, hey, I can see that. And Will's like, what? And it's oh no, he means the gun. So he kind of tries to adjust it. And Will's getting kind of a weird feeling because this guy looks familiar. And then he realizes that he knows this guy. And this guy's like, yeah, it's me. Hey, Will, how's it going? It's been a long time. Well, this guy's dead. And to really drive this point home, he's actually wearing a shirt, from his memorial. It's a shirt with his face on it saying, rest in peace. And so this was a guy who Will's older brother, Sean, was really close with. This guy was practically Sean's older brother. They were really good friends at one time. But then he was shot and killed. So Will is freaked out because he's not sure if he's imagining this. He must be, because this guy's dead. How can he be in this elevator? But then, they go down another floor, and Will's just trying to keep it together, trying to okay, it's fine, it's fine. Meanwhile, this dude's lighting a cigarette and just trying to talk to him. Well, on the next floor, the door opens again. Much as Will was hoping it wouldn't, suddenly there's another person coming into the elevator. And this time it's this girl. And she looks to be about Will's age, and she's really pretty. And Will's thinking, wow, under any other circumstances, I would want to talk to this person. But, not right now. But then the girl, she kind of looks at the other guy in the elevator and says, I don't know, smoking was allowed in elevators. He's just kind of whatever. But then she looks at Will and says, I didn't know guns were allowed in elevators either. What are you doing with that? And again, Will is just I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. I can't talk about this, obviously. What do you mean? Who are you? And this girl says, Will, I'm Danny. And again, this is really alarming to Will because Danny was his best friend when he was a little kid. But she died. She was shot and killed when they were playing on a playground one day. So this keeps happening. On every floor, a different dead person gets on. A different person who Will knows. And it's different people. The first guy's name is Buck. So he's number one. Then it's Danny. And then it is Will's uncle. And then it's Will's dad. And then it's this guy called Frick. Frick was the guy who murdered Buck. And they're all dead. Like, they're just like, whatever. They're not like mad or anything anymore. They're just, you know, they don't even really, like, you know, they hug Will, you know, those who are his family members. You know, his uncle and dad both give him a hug. But they don't try and, like, tell him what to do. I mean, their position is basically, hey, you're alive still, and we're dead. So we're not going to try and tell you what to do next, because you decide what happens next. And they're just, like, talking to each other, and again, like, how they know each other, even, like, Buck and Frick, who, you know, one is dead because of the other, like, they're just like, well, whatever, we're both dead now, that doesn't matter now, you know, that stuff that happened when we're alive, it's in the past. And then, on the second to last floor, Sean gets on the elevator. And of course, like, Will sees his brother, and he's really, really trying not to cry. Like, one tear comes out, and he's like, well, that doesn't count. But then his brother is crying. His brother just has, like, tears streaming down his face, and he doesn't say anything. But Will hears, like, the horrible squeal of the elevator as it comes to a stop on the ground floor. And this is a novel that just ends with, like, Sean leaving. Like, there's by now a cloud of cigarette smoke in the elevator. And when everybody gets off, you know, Will's left standing there, and Sean gets out, and he's like, you coming? And that's the end. Like, you have to decide what you think happens next. You have to decide what you think Will decides to do based on this experience. Which, again, is he imagining these dead people? Like, he was able to hug them. They felt real. They looked real. But what really happened? He doesn't know. So, this is a fantastic novel. It's, you know, one of Jason Reynolds' best books. And it's kind of, it's like a Christmas story, you know? It's these ghosts appearing to somebody and trying to help them change their life, trying to maybe, you know, without explicitly saying what they want the person to do, maybe they're going to change what happens next. So, check it out. And this novel is available through Libby and Access 360, so you can check it out there. I think it's both an ebook and an e-audiobook. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.